Welcome back to Biz Talk, everyone. I am Rachel Weaver, your host for today, and I am so excited to have a very special guest with me today, Miss Nora Al Masri. Nora is an incredible genius when it comes to budgeting forecasts. So, Nora, I am so excited to ask you a couple questions today. Tell me, what is zero-based budgeting and is it suitable for small business owners?
So basically, it's great for small businesses because basically what you're doing, you're starting from zero. So when you do the forecast, let's pretend now we're doing the forecast for 2024. We disregard 2023 information. And before we put a budget for any expense, we have to justify that expense and make sure, does it make sense? Do we need it? Regardless of what happened last year, regardless of what happened the year before. And why it is good for small businesses, because actually, when we start a business, we make a lot of mistakes, and we might like those mistakes include expenses. So we might have been doing some expenses that is unnecessary. So when we do this zero-based budgeting, we pretend that we're just starting the business. Actually, hopefully we will be actually evaluating what happened last year and the year before, what we made a mistake, so we don't make those mistakes again. We start from zero. Now, maybe this mistake we did last year, it's not going to be mistake next year. So we don't want to rely on the information, but we want to be aware. But we're starting from zero. We will have to be sure that we're starting from zero. So if a mistake happened this year, it doesn't mean this is going to be a mistake next year, even if the decision to keep that or to do this again, but we're pretending like we didn't try it. So we are neutral on our behavior to this expense. So, okay, we pretend this wasn't a mistake. And then, okay, we're going to do it for next year because this is actually what we need for next year. It's a new year, new things, new new expectations. So it's perfect, actually.
How far ahead should a small business forecast their budget? How far ahead should we try to foresee what's going to happen in the future to budget for things? What is your recommendation, especially if you are a business that plans to grow and scale?
So for small businesses, sometimes, like you say, when you tell them like 5 years, they don't see that far, which is okay. But at least you want to have like something like your end result. Like, what do you expect from this business? Is this a business to just carry you for the next few years, or is it a business that you want to be carry over like after you pass away, to give it to your kids, or what's the goal from overall business? So if it's just like you don't really know right now, at least you want to plan for the next year. That's the minimum, but you want to have the vision, the overall vision, at least, but a year would be great. However, you don't want to just like plan for a year, forecast for the next year, and then leave it and don't look at those numbers. It's not going to be useful. So for example, now it's December almost. You're going to forecast for 2024, but you're not going to leave it. You're going to look every single month to see what's happened, and then you maybe have to change the forecasting. Every quarter is also a good time, another good time to do the forecasting on whenever you're starting a new project. So you want to do the forecasting again for anything new.
What metrics should be considered when preparing a budget forecast for really small business, medium-sized business, or any size business? I feel like this is important. So share with us, what should we be taking a look at and considering when we're building out this budget?
So it really depends on the industry and the type of the business, what you're expecting, is it a service-based business, what industry it is on. So you have to actually determine what's the KPI for your business in order to see what you consider as a metrics when you do the forecasting. Now there's some common things, right? Every business there to be profitable. So you want to make sure profitability is there. Like you want to make sure actually you would forecast for your burn rates. Burn rate is actually how much money, cash you need to stay on operation. If you have a store, rents, utilities, staff, everything, or even if you're online business, like what softwares you need to run your business, you have staff, like everything that you need for your business to keep running. For example, I'll give an example on my industry, like the tax account and accounting. How much do you need for that tax software to stay there so you can do the taxes for people? So each industry will be different, but this is why it's really important to determine which metrics, which KPI is going to make a difference for your business.
Tell us, Nora, in what ways can businesses adjust their budget forecast to align to unexpected changes in the market or in the economy?
So actually, they do have to look at their market, of course. So if you are in an industry, you should be always updated. Like you should always be in the knowledge what's going on, what's happening. You should be always actually looking for vendors, looking for alternative. And sometimes it's hard for the business owners to do that and keep going with the business. That's why having a CFO, even if it's a fractional CFO, like myself or anyone else in their industry, whatever they, whoever, like they are actually finding it's easy to work with or what they would like to work with, like you need the CFO in your company, in your business, no matter how small is or big your business is, you need that person to be able to look at that and let you know actually what's going on and how you have to navigate, and also keep looking at better opportunities, let you know like where you can actually save money, where you should actually spend more money to save in other area. So that having that CFO is really important and key in order to navigate through this.
And how can businesses strike a balance between setting realistic financial goals and being ambitious in their budget? Tell us a little bit more about that, because I know there's a lot of us small business owners that have these big, huge goals, and we really don't know how to even begin to budget for a goal like that. So share with us your expertise there.
So budget is flexible. So we're not putting anything on stone, right? But we have to be a lot of people say like you have to be realistic, you have to give a margin like of increase. Now for me, I don't you want to balance. So you can be ambitious, anything can happen, right? So if you're, for example, if you have a new product, whether it's a service or it's actually a real product, that's something like you would expect like to increase on sale, or maybe like every year you will have to have increase, right? So when sales is increased, everything else would increase, all the cost will be increasing. Now you want to have some growth in the budget, but you're going to keep measuring that every month. Now you don't want to have your brain like set on this is how much I'm going to make only. Now, this is the minimum. Understand the budget as the minimum target, but it's not your limits. Sky is the limit. You can just go even like not sky, like you can go as far as you want, but understand the budget as the minimum. And then when the sales increase, you want to monitor all the expenses. So don't increase it like too much. You have to keep the percentage going fairly so you don't actually increase in sale and not increasing in profitability. So you have to keep that balance. That's why you have to keep monitoring your finances every single month.
Well, Nora, thank you so much for being with us today. You have given so much valuable information, especially as everyone is planning for 2024. Can you tell the audience, where can we find you?
So they can go to my website, noorasbooks.com/contact, and they can book a Zoom call with me, and I would love to talk to anyone and see how can we help them.
And thank you so much, Nora, for being with us today on Biz Talk. It was such an honor and pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you again, hopefully very soon.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And that's today's segment of Biz Talk. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.